All right, so the nest is waiting outside this house. They're getting ready to spring a plan of sorts into action to try to rescue the Hound and the other individuals that have been seen down below by this well. So we'll see how that all goes. It doesn't quite go all according to plan, but it is interesting.
Okay, so Ray, what we're going to do is we're going to call, not I guess not from our cell phones. Like I don't know, where are we going to call from?
There's no payphones.
We just block our numbers. Is that a thing that you can do?
Not to emergency.
Okay. Are there any like bars or clubs around that might have like a payphone?
Not being not that far ultimately from the park, you can probably find a bar or two within like a block distance or so.
Okay.
You do that, I could break into someone's house if they have a landline, and I can call from someone's house.
I mean, yeah, we that is a really good idea. You could also break in and take their cell phone.
That's true too. It is a little bit later. People are probably sleeping. I mean,
So here's my question, Ray. Is there is there an alley that separates this block from the next block?
Yes.
Okay. Then very much what I would like to do is I would like to, as quickly as possible, get around to the other block and check out the house that's behind this house that the Bahari or the cultivar are engaged in their ritual.
Okay. So you swing around to the alleyway, and it obviously runs the whole length of the block. There's a lot of houses behind here, but this one's easy to locate because the house that you're looking at is pretty much right by the corner. And you've got that rundown like service station on the corner here, then the house right away. So you go back there. It's easy to find the right house. It's not difficult to line it. That house has a small yard in the back, no garage at all, just parking spaces by the alleyway. It's a 3 flat as well, so you've got that wooden like balcony system that goes up to the third floor and to the second floor. The yard itself is kind of
Does it have a garden unit?
yes.
Okay, that's where we're gonna check out.
Okay.
Because anyways.
first thing we should do is listen, see if there's any activity going on in the garden unit.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I don't give a shit if there's any activity going on in the garden unit. First of all, I'm looking for lights. Are there lights on?
Yes.
Okay.
Dim, but lights.
Okay.
Like maybe nothing right by the back like windows, so the kitchen is right there. So nothing light there, but like from further in the apartment, sure. And the light's just kind of filtering through, so it looks a little dim from the back.
Okay. Second thing I'm going to do, I'm going to continue to utilize my silence, and then I'm going to test the door to see if it's locked.
Door is locked.
Okay. I will rouse my blood to try to crack the door open.
I was gonna hold up a finger. I'll pull out my lock picks.
I don't have time for that. You just
You didn't call the police?
He just no. We're trying to find a place that's not our cell phones to call the cops from.
Call the cops. Yeah.
You don't dial 911 from your own cell phone, or I'm told.
So, you rouse the blood.
Yes, sorry.
No problem. Go ahead and roll your rouse. You're a little more hungry.
I will be a hunger, and that's fine because there's probably people in here.
And you're going to try to just shoulder the door, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I'm going to try to, now that I've roused my blood, I'm going to try to just turn the knob so that, basically the lock breaks and I can push the door open.
What's your total strength right now with the +2?
It is a 4.
Sure. With the supernatural strength that you kind of summon to your limbs, you snap the lock essentially and just push the door open. And as you do so, like the little ring that goes where the latch kind of locks into the door frame just kind of falls.
Okay.
But it doesn't make any noise because silence.
Yeah. And then I will go into the room quickly in case there's anybody in the room.
Yeah, you slide into like this little back like pantry area essentially right before the kitchen, and then you got a hallway that leads to a small dining room, and then you got the living room in the front, bedrooms off to the side. So as you kind of push past that pantry and reach past the kitchen, you start smelling this rather pungent scent in the air. It smells like marijuana. Somebody's smoking up.
Okay.
You push further through, and it looks like the dining room had been converted into some sort of like small music studio area, and you see in the living rooms where the light's been coming from that's been filtering through the back. There's 2 people on the couch, TV's on. It's just playing some mundane like crap in the background, probably news, but there are 2 people just cashed out on the couch.
Okay.
Both guys.
I am going to grab. I'm gonna wait a few minutes because I'm assuming I don't know where Jeff is at because I did
Obfuscate.
obfuscate.
Right.
But I'll wait a few moments, a couple of heartbeats, and then the closest guy to me, I will grab around the mouth and sink my fangs into his neck.
You reach down, you grab him by the shoulder and you clasp over his mouth and pull him across the couch towards you and just bite him. As you bite him, he just kind of goes limp, and you see like his buddy, who's also just fucking cashed, stirs a little bit, but he's like, "Fuck, man, shut up," and like goes back to sleep.
I will bite into his buddy.
Okay, so you guys both have these two poor, helpless guys.
Okay.
How much are you slaking off of them?
I mean, I will feed to full. I'll completely slake my thirst.
All right, so you just can devour this guy.
Yeah.
All right, you'll take a stain.
I'm all stained up.
Jeff?
I will not, because it doesn't really serve a purpose. If this guy, I wanted to set it up to where and Nate wasn't going to kill him, I was going to basically grab a kitchen knife, put it in this guy's hand, slit his buddy's throat while he's asleep and passed out from my drink. So it looks like he killed him.
Well,
but
Jeff, you can totally still do that. You just need to self-inflicted suicide the buddy. Do you think they're gonna like get a mop and test whose blood is where?
That's fair.
Spray it around a little bit.
I'm not going to completely drain him. I'm going to drink enough to basically bring myself to one and make sure this guy stays asleep so I can stage this room to look like a murder-suicide.
Jeff, take a stain.
While he's...
I'm taking a stain as well, you said?
Oh, yeah. This is just you covering your tracks. There's nothing like methodical or creative about this.
Oh, yeah, no, totally.
Okay. After that, I will be grabbing the nearest cell phone.
Yeah, they're right on the table. There's like this really crappy like 70s coffee table. You see like a bong on it, some pipes, some grinders, all kinds of paraphernalia just laid out on this table. And there's two cell phones just laying there. One that has like 15 text messages.
Okay. I'll grab one of the phones and I'll start walking towards the other end of the house to make sure that there's nobody else here or to see if there is.
You check there's a small like little, I guess it's more like a utility closet the size of the bedroom towards the front, and there's a second bedroom towards the back. You check both rooms. Looks like that's where these guys live. Nobody else is here. It's just the two of them.
Then I'll call the police.
All right, you make an emergency call. It goes through. You get dispatched. 911 once your emergency.
Yeah, there's this place like across the alley from me I'll name the street, right at the corner, and it sounds like there's a kid like crying real loud, and like these two people are yelling at each other and fighting, and I think somebody's getting hurt.
All right, we'll send someone out right away.
I heard like a real loud bang. Yeah, you should probably hurry up.
All right, stay inside so that way nothing, you're not at risk. We'll send a squad over right away to stay in your house, and if something changes, just give us a call back.
Okay, I will. No problem. I'll hang up the phone.
Okay. All right.
I'll look to Jeff, like, make a phone call.
Oh, yeah. I'll pick up the phone and I'll call the cops. And I'll pretty much give them the same spiel he did.
All right. They'll confirm essentially what you'll get is, okay, we'll send somebody out. Somebody's en route right now, so please stay indoors, stay safe. You're not put in risk.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll hang up and I'll put the phone back down on the table.
So within probably, I'd say 5 or 10 minutes, you'll hear a car rush through the alleyway and pull up like right by where the driveway is on the outside of this house. And you'll see a little bit of red and blue flash as another car goes by and goes to the end of the block and kind of turns. You all will see through the windows in the back of this apartment, this garden apartment, that there are two cops that cop out of the car right that's parked in this little driveway that go into the backyard of the house across from you, and you can see that other lights kind of pull and come to a stop at the front of the house. So it's like there's 4 cops, 2 from each car, kind of go to either side of the building. You'll hear a crunch as a door gets kicked open, shouting, and then gunfire. Like,
okay.
You hear the shout like, "Oh, what the fuck, police! Holy shit!"
Yeah, we're gonna try this a third time now. I'm gonna grab a chair, like a wooden chair, And we're gonna pry a leg off, and I
Make
don't
that
know.
2 legs.
Yeah, and we're gonna try to. I'm gonna try to use my silence to get around to the other side where the other house's garage is, and take care of that Nosferatu.
I'm gonna unseen and do the same. We're gonna tandem stake this fuckhead if
So
he's still there.
you guys rip the chair legs off these really crappy, like they must be from like the 80s, those old like rounded wood chairs. Just rip them off and make sure you got a good sharp edge on one side, where the wood splintered enough. You grab those and you head out the door of the basement apartment, make your way across the alleyway, and as you kind of walk around the garage, you will see that Nosferatu is no longer an unseen. Like, you see the descending stairs to the garden unit from the backside, and he's grabbed a cop and he's bit into his neck and starting to drink.
Okay,
Oh, it was perfect distraction.
we gonna try to stake him.
All right, so
Go
We
sleep.
we gonna rouse the blood.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna get my one hunger back.
all right,
I
so
apologize, stoners. You were delicious.
on the plus side, this guy's drinking, so he's not aware. So you'll catch him off guard. You'll get this first dual attack to try this. So you do have to make a called shot at a -2 penalty.
Yeah.
You have to deal at least 5 points of damage before you have it, because it's superficial damage, right? The stake always has a modifier +0, so it's literally going to be strength plus melee in close combat.
Mm-hmm.
And just go as much as you can. So
Yeah.
Jesus.
between
So
the
I'm gonna
two
use-
of you,
I'm gonna use 5 dice.
oh shit! All right, so is Lamont going to go first there, Sullivan?
Sure. You can go first.
All right,
He
Go
has
ahead, roll.
already said he's using 5 dice. Roll it out,
Yeah.
sir.
There we go.
Fucking, and it's 2 10s.
it's 2 10s. Wow. All right, so that's a total
Fuck
of
yeah.
9. You will hit, like, Sullivan will watch as you're clenching the chair leg yourself. You're like getting hyped up to go stab this dude too. You see Lamont just like walk down with a purpose. You see as he rouses a blood, his arms get a bit more like bulged. He just raises with both hands at a stake and just double fists into this guy's back. You hear the crunch as he breaks through one of the guy's ribs, the Nosferatu's ribs, and that soft, wet like slap as his fists hit home. The Nosferatu goes rigid beneath the force of Lamont's blow, and both him and the cop are bore down to the ground with the force of Lamont putting all his weight behind it and all his strength. And he doesn't move.
I'm going to stay in unseen, so the next motherfucker that tries to come out to fuck with him catches a hot one to the back.
So you will see now that you can kind of get a view into the garden unit here. This back area has been all cleared out, and there's this pit in the middle of it. What you see is like a scene straight out of Hellraiser. There are 5 bodies strung up by chains from the ceiling, disemboweled, and they're kind of angled to be facing the well. One of them is Alexa. You can see that they're strung up as well, but the rest you've never seen before, but it's all kindred vitae. You can see that 2 cops had kind of rushed in through the front and got disemboweled and now are just twitching on the floor. The other Nosferatu you saw that walked in, she's kind of just sitting there licking the blood off her feral claws. The partner of the cop that came in through the back, he seems like he's been hit with something in the back of the head because he's on the ground, face down, twitching.
There's nobody else. It's just her licking her claws.
From what you can see,
So she's not actually by the well.
no, she's like probably 10 feet from it.
Yeah, no. Then we're gonna wait because she may not have seen all this. Maybe if we're lucky.
She's not looking at us, right?
No, she's not looking at you right now
Okay.
because you made no noise. So
Right. So I'll look. So first and foremost, my first concern was the cop. Is the cop? Did I go through this guy into the cop, or just like, is he conscious? Is he alive?
you probably stabbed the cop in the back, like not
Okay.
too deep though.
Is he like squirming?
He's on the verge of consciousness. He was
Okay.
getting drained pretty deeply.
Okay. I'm going to, as I get up, I'm going to give him like a stern elbow to like the temple to hopefully like help to knock him out.
You'll just you'll crossbows, kapow, and he'll just kind of, his head will bounce off the concrete, and he'll pass out.
And I'll pull the pistol out of the cop's holster if he's wearing it in a holster.
Oh, it was in his hand. It's just on the ground underneath him now.
Okay, I'll take it off the ground, and I don't know where Sullivan is, but I'm assuming he's gonna try to do what I just did, which is stake a bitch. And if that don't work, hopefully this gun will work. And if that don't work, I don't know where Preston is, but hopefully he'll be back up too.
So, does Sullivan enter the garden apartment yet?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You step into the basement. This like blood-covered floor is just slick and shimmering in the low light down here. You see off to your left, as soon as you walk in, probably about 5 feet from the door, sitting in like this old like wicker rocking chair, is this woman who is pale. Her cheeks are sunken in. She's got these red glowing irises, like basically like, you know, eyes of the beast are up. And she's kind of like just playing out a tune on the edge of the wicker like armchair bars. And her feral claws are out, just kind of scraping across as she's just doing one of these, watching the Nosferatu finish off the cops.
Ah, well, I may have to stake that bitch instead.
You've seen her around. That's it's an older gangrel. Her age is completely unknown. She's called Silva.
Well, this sucks, but she's clearly here with them, or she would have done something. So she needs to be knocked the fuck out.
So you're gonna
nasty bitch.
You're gonna pop out of obfuscate and
I'm gonna when I hit her is when I'm popping. I'm staying silent and fucking it obfuscate as long as possible.
All right. Do you want to use any dice?
I will rouse the blood and use all 6 of what's left.
Holy shit!
This old lady needs to go. She gonna be a problem.
Damn. Ray, a quick question as I'm outside. Are there any like garden implements around, shovel?
You know, ironically, where there normally would be because of the Bahari, there's not a lot of stuff being done here right now. You can probably just within the doors here, there is like a snow shovel that you can get that has like a wooden haft. If you want to just grab that and break it.
No, I don't want to break it. As a plastic snow shovel?
The shovel portion's plastic, but the haft before you get the handle, that's all wood.
Okay. Yeah, I will I'll take it and I'll crack it.
Okay.
I have 5. Thank you, Chris.
You will stake Silva out as you pop out of obfuscate, just barely. Like as the wood starts to pierce her chest, you see her eyes lock up at you, burning that baleful crimson, and she actually reaches up and starts to like go towards you with her claws as you impale her back to the wicker chair. Now, do you have Silence of Death?
I do not.
Okay.
I just had Unseen.
So
let me double check.
Well, Sullivan is now going to understand exactly why I was letting him go in before me.
And I'm stupid, and I should have taken my level 1 as Silence, so the second one would be Unseen, but I have Cloak of Shadows and Unseen for some reason.
Bro, someone needs to be distraction.
I'm simple. It's okay. Come get some.
So you will stake her, and there's no sound when she shouldn't get a chance to cry out. She just reach up for you like, and you boom, back into the chair, but the chair breaks under the force of your blow. The sound makes Lucia turn, and you see her kind of spin and get low to the ground as she pulls all of her like claws out, just splays them out, sees you, and sees Lamont as he picked up this snow shovel. And did you break it or no?
I did. Yeah.
As you snap it, which made no sound. She just swoops over and sees Sullivan first, and then sees Lamont out of the peripheral. She gets up and rises to start running across the distance between you guys. Where is Preston, by the way?
I don't know. Because I got up
blinked.
and then I came back and people were staging suicides in basement apartments. So I thought maybe I got up and came back and we were playing a different game. So I've just been sitting here like, I'm just let this play out and see how it goes. Because
Holy
at first
shit.
it's like, oh, we should call the cops. We'll just call the cops and have them show up. And then I come back and it's like, I'm gonna slit this dude's throat with this other guy's hand with the knife.
Yeah, I got a little.
So I'm guessing that while they were doing that, I would have been like in obfuscate, like being lookout or whatever. And then once the shit hit the fan in the place that we're trying to get into, I would have been looking for an opportunity to go into the basement to check it out. So you maybe use a distraction to get into the basement somehow, break the window or go or whatever.
You don't have to. So he came in through the back door, actually. So the cop showed up and blitzed the front and the back. And whenever they came across, the Nosferatu that had been hiding out back here, smoking a cigarette, kind of like on passive lookout, attacked the cop. While he was feeding off the cop, Lamont staked him from behind. And that's when Sullivan went in through the door and Lamont went in after him. And did you get the sight of what's going on down here?
Yeah, I heard the description, yeah.
So that's what's here. So Preston could have been just watching to make sure nobody else was out there and can come upon the scene at that point in time, which is completely
that
fine.
Works. That works.
All right, so I thought we were playing a different game. So we go to initiative, and Lucia has a 5. Preston, you have a 4, right?
I have a 4, yeah.
And then Lamont and Sullivan are both at a 3. So Lucia will cross the distance to get to Sullivan and just be attacking with her claws. Does Sullivan want to counterattack her back or just try to dodge?
I would like to move this old lady in the way of her claws.
Okay, so we'll have you roll your Dex plus Brawl, and she'll roll her
spatula?
Dex plus Brawl.
Alrighty then. I'm definitely going to rouse the beast because I don't have good stats when it comes to combat.
I'm going to use 2 dice.
I'm at hunger 3.
Hey, let it feel
Again.
you. Okay, guy?
For the 4th time tonight.
We were just in that place, man. Like, come on, what are you doing?
I don't know. Shit. I got 4. I'll take 4.
Oh, okay. I'll have a little willpower.
Dick.
Damn, Jeff, you ain't got no willpowers.
Nope, I don't have willpower.
Jesus.
5, son. So
You hit.
you will bring the old Gangrel up to bear to try to ward off his attack or block it. And when the wolf claws, as we used to call them, for those who haven't started playing this game till 5th edition, the wolf claws tear through the air and actually rip into your chest, and you'll feel them gouge through your shirt and across the muscles of your chest. All right, so she beat you by 1, so you'll take a total of 3 superficial damage.
Got it. You need me to roll the frenzies?
Yes. Diff 2. You're good.
3 successes, man.
Holy shit. This might be a new trend. Now we just need to have Sean start succeeding more often in his rouse checks, and it will be all fucking. It'll be a new game.
Right.
So that brings us to Lamont, or actually Preston first. The Nosferatu Lucia just sprinted across the room and clawed Sullivan. You hear him kind of like grunt in pain as the feral talons kind of rip through his chest, and fresh vitae hits the air.
I'm gonna run over and be like in a frantic. Like, we don't have time for this. We gotta get out of here. There's gonna be more cops. This is a huge problem for us. We gotta bolt, or people are gonna find out. And I'm gonna try and entrance her to get her attention and get her to sway to my way of thinking.
All right, your charisma plus presence. When you currently have 4 dice.
I will use 2 of them.
All right, let me go ahead and knock that off for you.
How many are left?
2.
Jesus.
I have 7.
Fuck you.
What is that
Jesus
bullshit?
Fucking Christ.
She rolls her composure plus wits. Let's see how this goes. Probably not very well.
Holy Christ. Oh my gosh.
She rolled a 1. All right, so the effect lasts for roughly 1 hour plus 1 per point of margin on the win. So for 6 hours,
Shit. We're BFFs.
she slashes your buddy, your broodmate. You rush up, you give her the spiel. It's really not registering, you can tell. Because on her face, which is not, there's no mask up, by the way, so she's very desiccated. Her fangs are like 2 massive front fangs, a la Matt Shrek. Her ears are elongated and pointed with like tufts of like coarse hair at the ends. Her eyes are overly large and bloodshot. And she looks over at you as the weight of your presence crashes into her willpower, and you see her kind of like shake her head and snap out of it. And she looks at you, looks at Sullivan, then looks back at Lamont, takes a step back, and you'll see her feral talon slowly retreat back into her fingernails. Leave out the back, I'll go out the front. And she turns like she's going to run, which brings us to Lamont's turn.
Yeah. So I would like to, make it look like I'm definitely going to do that and then stake her.
Okay. Are you using the dice?
Of course, I will be using the dice. I will be rousing.
Use the last 2 just in case, sir.
Those were the last 2 dice. Oh, you got the rouse too. Nice. Didn't get any hunger off of that.
Cross your fingers. Okay. And willpower for a reroll.
Yep. For 2 of those. You got this. 4. You will still do 3 damage to her as she's got her back turned to you. And she needs to roll her willpower to not frenzy because you guys suck.
Yeah, them stake and rolls is hard. They're fucking hard as shit.
Yeah, they are. Wow.
Damn.
Fucking golden.
She doesn't frenzy, but you slam into the back of her with, the haft of the snow shovel. It pierces her back, but you feel it bounce off her rib, and it just kind of skims through her flesh. Doesn't really actually stake her. She stumbles forward, and she turns on you, and she's like, what the fuck? We get to the top of the next round. So she has to make a rouse. She's good, and you'll see the feral claws erupt from her fingertips again, and she'll go to jump at Lamont.
Yeah, figured.
So do you want to try to counter against her, or do you want to try to dodge?
No, I'm going to try to counter. I'm going to do what the ancient Greeks would do and hold the phone.
You guys set for charge? All right.
Yes.
So
phalanx. And I'll rouse. I'll get a hunger.
you'll get hunger, and she will. Ooh, is that 2? Is it 2 tens? It is not. So she gets 3 successes on her attempt to slash at you with her feral talons, and you will roll your melee plus your dex again or strength.
That's my 2.
You got this. You do have this. Holy crap. You'll deal another point of damage to her as you ward her off with the pseudo stake you have. You just kind of stab her in one of the forearms as her arms go wide after she starts getting, warded off by you, which brings us to Sullivan.
I will.
She is closer to the well, by the way.
I will stab her with my already scorpion's touched knife from earlier.
She will just attempt. All she can do defensively is dodge. So she will roll.
Good show, chap.
I am going to rouse because I fucking have to at this point.
Dude, watch out. You're
All
getting
right.
Oh, you're all right. You push your
All
blood through your
right.
veins. You don't get any more hungry, and you move in for the strike.
Becomes fuck you, game.
Jesus.
Fuck this game.
You go to swing. You're not a combat character, Jeff. Come on, let's be real.
No,
You
not at all.
You wade in.
Didn't you rouse your blood?
I did.
Oh, is it? And you still only have 5 dice?
Yeah, I got 4 plus 1 for melee.
Okay. All right. No,
So,
curious.
That's all I got, man.
you wade in to this struggle between Lamont and Lucia, and as she gets hit in the arm by this makeshift stake, and she's reeling, you swing in, and she just kind of jumps back a little bit, and your blade just slides right where her belly used to be. Preston, what are you doing? You're watching this unfold. You entranced her, but she's now getting jumped by your buddies.
Yeah, fuckers. How close to the well are we?
At this point, she started walking back. She's maybe 3 feet from the well.
So is does the entrancement, would she still be entranced by me?
To you, yes.
Okay. So I'm going to act like I'm going to try and help her. Like, oh, let me get you out of here. I'm going to rouse and try and throw her into the well.
Go ahead and roll your rouse. And you're good again. What's going on? So you force your blood into your limbs. You get more powerful physically. And it's your brawl and your dex or your strength, whichever is higher for you. I'm fine with either one. You can either brute force it or try to finesse it. All right, so you got 3. Oh, it's almost a crit. All right, so I'm going to penalize though because you do have her entranced. You walk up, everything's fine, and just go shove. I'm gonna cut our dice pool in half. So she gets her athletics plus dex.
Yo, we need to like invest some money in brawling and
Wow.
stabbings.
All right. So you walk up. I got you. You kind of like shoulder your broodmates out of the way and just go boom, like center of mass, and she just tumbles backwards and into the well. You hear her scream out, and then just the sound that you guys heard before at your well when it was dedicated, of just pincers and claws rending flesh, and then there's nothing but silence.
Oh, okay. Well, we got to get down our dude.
Yeah, we gotta get out of here.
Alexa is strung up with 4 other kindred, and
Who
they're
are the
just
kindred? Do
Grab
we
them
know?
all.
We don't
haven't
know
seen
them
them before.
Yeah.
Never seen it before. All right.
Grab them all.
Do we have time? There's gonna be more cops.
I figure we got 2 or 3 minutes.
we gonna have to, but I will drop my silence. I've got a plan. This calls for a house fire.
Yes, it does.
All right.
Same as before. I'm gonna kick the fucking the fucking thing to break the gas leak. I mean, that's tried
So
and
you-
true.
You go to the kitchen area and you just snap the gas from the stove. How are you gonna get the bodies from here to your car?
We gotta
Oh,
carry
yeah, 'cause
them.
I can't obfuscate with them because they're people. They're not things.
Well, we should just back the car into the driveway.
Yeah. So,
Fair.
all right. One of us go get the car.
What
One
about
of
the
us
cameras in
handle.
cop cars? They're gonna see all that.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't really know. Like,
We can grab
okay,
some
so-
shit to just cover our faces up and run
So,
out with
so
the
we
bodies.
definitely need to drag these bodies across the alley into the place where we were hiding, where we killed those 2 dudes.
Good call.
Good idea.
I'll
Let's
do
do
it. I'll
that.
start doing that immediately. out
And we
the
need to
back
do
door.
it from like the back of the cop car so it doesn't see us on the camera.
Yes,
Right,
we'll do
that's why we go
exactly
out the
that.
back.
Yes. Yep,
Yes,
out the back. We'll pull them out the
absolutely.
back.
So who are you dragging over to the house? The other house.
The 5 kindred that were up.
So all 5. So you have Alexa and then 4 others you don't recognize.
Starting with Alexa.
Well, we'll take them all because we don't know them. We could find out through
We could
Whatever
potentially
means,
get
and then
wounds from them.
potentially, or we can just fucking throw them in our well. I mean, it really depends on the situation, right?
That's fucked up, Jeff. We'll definitely we'll definitely grab Alexa.
Fucking satanic Scooby Doo. Fucking.
Wow. Okay. So all 5 are being dragged over to the other house.
Yeah.
What are you doing with the police officers' bodies?
The ones that are not inside, drag to right inside.
Okay.
Because I want it to look like there was like a fucking gas leak explosion that like
So
fucking.
you pull those
bad
2 in, not a problem. You know, the 2 that came into the back, one's just inside the door. Remember, he got hit in the back of the head. And the other one's outside that you knocked him out. You drag him inside by his belt and by his jacket. You got him all on the concrete floor, but you realize that there's one odd thing here as the gas is starting to fill up. There's still a well.
We can't do anything about that. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I don't.
I'm gonna look for very flammable shit and start putting it around the living room.
I don't know how to handle that. I mean,
Yeah, it is a
Yeah,
weird thing.
even in the rituals we have access to, none of them are to make a well inert or to hide it or anything.
Not
like
yet.
that, other than supernaturally, like
yeah.
warding
I mean, either way, I feel like. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, can we collapse the house on the fucking thing? Like, I
hopefully
don't.
the
The
explosion
fire
does
could
that.
possibly do that, yeah, but it will still be there until
Eventually
it
it'll
dies.
be found. Right.
So like this is
Yeah.
gonna get we're gonna have to call when we called to report this to fucking Sierra or whoever, like somebody's gonna have to cover this up
Well,
like
look, the truth is,
with influence or something.
we don't know a fucking thing about what it is that's down there, other than it seems really bad and something terrible seemed to be down inside. Because we're not Baali. Why the fuck would we know anything about
Right.
this?
There's something
We're-
awful. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
We're Torador and Kadif, right? So we had one of 2 choices. We either leave this fucking terrible, fucked up ritual with all these dead cops for more cops to come and discover, as what it obviously is, or we do what a bunch of fucking young vampires would think, this is the best way we can try to preserve the masquerade in this moment, and that's
Absolutely.
light the fucking house on fire. Hopefully the vampires die in the fire. There's no evidence of vampires, and there's some creepy shit that these cops found down below. There's probably some dead bodies in here. So hopefully it solves itself, or at least until the city can get the Tremere at it. That's my logic.
Fair. Cool. I'll start
Works
flinging
for me.
fucking flammable shit all around the fucking room, leading from the kitchen. I don't give a
Okay.
shit. It's going everywhere. Walls,
So
ceiling.
for Preston and Sullivan, there is an inscription on the well that matches the one that was around yours until earlier last night. It's the
Typical.
same corrupted, sigils.
Yeah.
But as Preston and Sullivan, well, Sullivan mainly, is going around trying to find all the shit and scrounging through the apartment, it doesn't make sense. There's a lot of trappings here, and you find a ritual book that's identical, almost identical to the one that you got from Quincy. And there's the same rituals are in there, but there's a lot of different like annotations. You take time to read it. You don't have time right now, but there's a lot of other stuff in there that seems weird.
Yeah, I mean, if I see it, I'm definitely grabbing it.
Okay. So you take the book and you exit out of the building essentially after you got the gas flowing through the entire apartment. Just going to let it go, or you're going to boom?
So my plan was to get a bottle of like hairspray or some other like, cooking oil or anything that has like a aerosol,
Right.
and like tape the thing down and light that and just rip the gas line and let it fill until it hits that. And
So like you're making a homing grenade with a fucking...
yes, a very basic homemade grenade.
Just throw it in the living room where I throw all the flammable shit, and the flame will lead back to the kitchen and hit the gas and blow it.
So the living room's in the front of the apartment, by the way. You're towards the back, so you don't want to walk in, throw it towards the front, and then boom, get stuck inside the building. So you want to throw it in the back, but you've got enough, build up there. But I do need Lamont to make a willpower check to get past the idea of this is a lot of fire that's going to suddenly erupt in front of my face.
For sure. Hey, look at that. I got 4 successes technically.
Oh, it's a crit. Nice. So you light this up with a lighter and you're holding it for a second and you look at the house. Right as you're ready to throw it, there's a tinge of fear that kind of just shudders through your body, but you steel yourself and throw it and turn and run. The two of you, Preston and Sullivan, where are you guys at when he does this?
Oh, I'm in the fucking.
You're with the
front of
other-
house. Yeah, fuck that.
You're in the other
Yeah,
house
I'm-
already. Like,
Yeah, I'm out of there after we hauled the bodies.
the explosion shakes the windows and all the houses immediately around this one as the bottom level of the garden apartment pretty much gets disintegrated with all the gas and all the stuff you guys put down here and whatever else was down there. It goes up and just engulfs the entire house. Lamont can feel the heat on his back as he's running across the alleyway, and it's bearing down into your consciousness, but you manage to push back the red fear and make it down into safety, which you know is awaiting you in the other garden apartment. Once you burst through those doors and the heat's off you, you kind of feel your muscles relax a bit, and you're not as tense because that was death right behind you. Now, the bodies down here, as you guys have been moving them, and Sullivan and Preston are a little more time with them, I need a wits and awareness from both of you.
So just a wits. Got it.
How does dude ain't got no awareness?
I still got
Yeah,
one.
I only have 1 awareness, so I'm talking shit. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm like,
Preston, you got one too?
Yep.
You guys will note, at least you didn't fail, you will note as you're handling the bodies and putting them to the side, you get Alexa to one side and the other 4 you don't know off to the other, and you see on the inside of the palm of the left hand, on each one of those guys, there's a small black crescent moon tattoo. So yeah, that's where we're gonna call it for the night, everybody. It's
An exciting
7 till. Crazy night. I didn't think they would ever try to stake anybody again, let alone twice in one night, 3 times really in one night. That was weird to me.
we really didn't have much of a choice in that regard. Like, we're all like, we're not even socially powerful. We're just like kind of socially powerful. We're not going to talk them into not being fucking evil pricks,
Right.
different kinds of evil pricks. So like, yeah, it was like, we have the element of surprise, and and dice. That's what we had.
All right, so the trio managed to escape from the explosion that they crafted, just barely. Really, there was a really good chance of them kind of getting stuck in that if they weren't careful. But they got out. Now they have all these bodies. Now they need to plan their next steps. We'll see you next episode to see what they do.